For more great content, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. In Valorant, there are tales of one who is feared above all others.
They have been able to topple the strategies of Nitro and 100 Thieves. He goes down as Ye enters B. El Diablo on the run.
He kills without mercy before his victims even know he's there.
He gets punished at the hands of Ethan. Asuna was able to get one on FNS as well. Yay! What a shot!
He leaves a trail of bodies in his wake with no evidence of his passing except the howling of the wind.
Yeah, he's in a clutch spot here. He does have one bullet left with the optic. Has that Bladestorm online. If he's able to get that, all right, he's good for one. He has to creep his way forward. A Red Bull clutch from Ye!
His enemies call him El Diablo, among the most feared Jett players in all of Valorant.
Okay, the Cosmic Divide is actually what's going to play contact. You see the smoke come out and the gravity well. BCJ was a sitting duck. He gets cleaned up by Ye. And Ye gets a second one as well. 34 health. He's got the hop. Dancing around the corner. He gets 3. And Diablo, baby, you gotta fear him. Looking for 4. This is why you fear this man.
But underneath all of that, he is Jaccob Whiteaker, better known to the world as Ye. And in the last 6 months, Ye has skyrocketed in notoriety, a breakout star of Masters Berlin.
I wanted to compete on the world stage. You know, that was my dream. I wanted to push myself further, you know, and I wanted to continuously get better. Because, like, that's ultimately, like, the goal for me is, like, I don't really care so much about results. It's all about getting better, like, as a player.
His future looks bright, and his career is sure to be a long one. But it wasn't always that way. Not too long ago, Ye's esports journey looked to be on its way to an early grave.
When you kind of squander an opportunity in CS, people stay away from you, you know? Like, people don't really touch, like, those players anymore. It's because, like, oh, he was on a pro team and he didn't make it.
The rise, fall, and rise again of Ye. Like so many Valorant stars, Ye began his esports career in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And back in 2015, a teenage Ye found himself bouncing around between a number of minor teams, including a roster under the name Team Ignite that featured future Valorant pros like Sick and Vice. Together, they displayed a level of raw skill that was hard to believe for a bunch of rookies.
And then we beat, like, all these top, like, premier, like, invite level teams, and everyone thought we were cheating. Like, everyone was, like, accusing of us 3 of cheating, and, like, you know, when land time came, or, like, just give it a little bit of time, all of us would be caught for, like, cheating, and that never really happened. It just turns out we had, like, we had some sick players at the time.
There's nothing stopping them. There's no one there. Paul Newman over towards Boiler. There's a man in sight, that's Vice, and one in pit, that's Jaccob. And Paul Newman and Jaccob cleaning things up here as Envy, Rob Wiz, and Grego go down 2-0 for Ignite.
With that level of talent, it was only a matter of time before larger organizations would take notice. In 2017, after 2 years of tearing up the server on smaller teams, Ye finally got his chance to prove himself. Complexity Gaming, a long-standing pillar in the Counter-Strike scene, came calling and brought Ye into the fold.
A 4-on-4 and Cork hitting the hard brakes right now as Ye comes in, and they are now surrounded on this site. There's players in Mini, there's players in Heaven, and players out towards the front lobby, but they're fighting as they will. 1v2 right now. Android up above taking the 1v1 that currently stands against Steel, but reinforcements are arriving. Android takes the first, and now Swag as well.
After the acquisition of Stanislaw and Shazam, Complexity started looking like they could be contenders.
Pimp! I'm going to be honest, I did not expect to see Complexity here. I thought Renegades were going to do the dirty work needed and take themselves over the edge.
Yeah, me too. And it's just, we talked about this group being very stacked, and when then the upset comes in, you know, it seems even more stacked all of a sudden when Complexity is also one of those teams that apparently can put up a fight.
After a strong showing in qualifiers over the summer, Ye and his team managed to punch their tickets to the 2018 Face It Major in London. In just over a year playing for a Tier 1 org, Ye would be competing on the biggest stage in Counter-Strike.
I'd say Complexity's underestimated just simply because of some bad history we've had, just previous lineups. There's been numerous roster changes. There
was undeniable talent on that team, sure, but Complexity weren't exactly seen as frontrunners to win the major, or even to make the playoffs. But Ye and the rest of his team were determined to prove everyone wrong.
Now they have to stay alive. That's going to be a task. No, it's not. Cold's got no chance. Round stolen back finally by Complexity.
They're going to kill him off at a time as well. That's brutal from Complexity. They bounce back. Stanislaw with the CZ, getting it done on the bomb side there, MIBR.
Complexity tore through the competition for the first 2 stages of the major, only dropping a single map.
One of the most historic North American Counter-Strike players of all time as the coach of this team, and they're going to be making it to the Legend stage. Jason Lake, one of the first real owners in esports as a whole. This bomb plant isn't even going to go down, and Ye's done it. Who better to close it out?
Just the look of Ye, I just love it. He's just so happy. Yeah, this is what we all want to experience at some point, isn't it?
But all good things must come to an end. In their first game of the single elimination playoff stage, Complexity found themselves knocked out by a dangerous Made in Brazil team featuring the likes of Stewie2K and Coldzera.
He's waiting. He's got an easy shot on the first. Fur's already found Ye. Fallen knows where the second one is. Stan gets at least the kill in return, but it's MIBR that'll advance. Through to the semifinals. Complexity put on a hell of a performance to get this far, but unfortunately can't come up spades against MIBR.
Although the dream of an underdog tournament win may have died there and then, it was nevertheless a valiant showing, and one that promised great things to come for the team, especially for the young up-and-coming Ye.
How are you feeling today? Well, tell me about how Complexity's doing this evening.
Great. Go ahead.
Great. All right. You heard it here first.
At least, that's how this story should have gone. The fall.
It just became more and more toxic, like, over time. Like, the players didn't really, like, I guess, like, respect me, like, on the team. They created this environment of, like, oh, you're just some young kid that doesn't know anything, you know? Like, it was like some weird, like age-driven, like, experience thing where it's just like, oh, you have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, but tell me why I'm wrong. You know, like, it's like don't tell me this. Like, give me good reasoning and like out-reason my reason. You know, like, it was like stuff like that. And I haven't seen that on any other team. Like, most teams, like, you're buddies. Like, you enjoy playing with each other. You have, like, a good environment. You're all working for, like, the same goal together. But, like, there was, like, some hierarchy and, like, complexity. It was such an odd thing.
That hierarchical culture that Ye said went on behind the scenes of Complexity degraded his mental state to the point of depression and killed his love for the game. In December of 2018, only a few months after his performance at the London Major, Ye found himself benched.
So, like, after the whole Complexity, I was just, like, burnt out and depressed. I remember, like, sleeping for, like, almost, like, 2 weeks and just not doing anything. It was, like, a really low point for me, but, like, during that, I guess, like, period, I spent, like, a lot of time, like, okay, like, it was just kind of like a self-reflection period in which, like, I was just, like, kind of figure out, like, okay, what do I want to be? You know, do I want to continue to pursue, you know, gaming as a career? Like, I'm like burnt out and depressed out of, you know, do I want to go back into, like, an environment like that? Well, I didn't leave Complexity. Ultimately, I was benched. I was gonna leave it initially. I was talking to, like, a few people about it because, like, I hated that team, like, towards, like, I guess, like, the end, because, like, the environment that was created was, like, it was nasty.
The way things ended with Complexity seemed to mark Ye as a risky pickup, and as 2019 rolled around, he struggled to find a major team that would have him. After a year of toiling under the radar for teams like Bad News Bears and Swole Patrol, it looked like Ye's career in CS might have already hit its peak, all before his true potential could be realized.
When you kind of squander an opportunity in CS, people stay away from you, you know? Like, people don't really touch, like, those players anymore. It's because, like, oh, he was on a pro team and he didn't make it. So it's either you have to really grind and prove yourself, or you're just out, you know? You're just in limbo for the next, like, year or two, and you can't really escape that, which kind of sucks. So
that was until the beginning of 2020, when he and a group of unsigned players in Wardell, FNS, Infinite, and Sabrosa joined together under the banner of Orglis. On that team, Ye once again started the grind to get an opportunity.
he'll stay here. Well, Infinite can bait now. See who faces first. Okay, well, yeah, he's still delivering, and here's Infinite with the Krieg. It goes from bad to worse to terrible. Send the body bags, zip them up, because Chaos are being decimated here on Overpop.
Over the next 2 months, Orgulus crushed the competition in qualifier after qualifier, until finally earning a spot in Flashpoint, where they'd compete for their share of $1 million prize pool.
Trying to bait out the shot. All the meanwhile, they're wrapping behind, and there's Mayern with the save. Kanji somehow lived a little bit longer, and Mayern in the pit is holding on for dear life.
Yeah, he has to get another kill before his teammate shows up. Molotov to force him out into the fight, and Mayern with a great kill. Out in the open, an Infinite long-range spray. That was incredible control.
While they didn't win Flashpoint, their climb did not go unnoticed. But just as they began to consider offers from organizations, the COVID-19 pandemic began to sweep the globe, and the North American CS scene suffered immensely. Suddenly, all the opportunity that was just within his grasp began to disappear.
And kind of like during Flashpoint is when COVID happened and Valorant was also conveniently released at the same time. So what ended up happening was during this period, we didn't really get any offers from an org. We got like one offer, but as soon as COVID hit, everyone pulled out. You know, it's just like, oh, well, we have no org, even though we're doing so well.
Ye's gut-wrenching effort to climb back to the top of Counter-Strike hadn't paid off. But all was not lost, and another path forward was just around the corner. The rise again. A month after Orgulus's Flashpoint appearance, the Valorant closed beta began drawing in viewers and esports brands alike.
And it got to a point in which like everyone on the team as well was just like, maybe we should just switch, you know? Like, it's not a bad idea because like this game feels nice. We're all enjoying it. It's fun. It's a fresh start. Why not, you know? And like for me, transitioning over, I didn't do it right away, like a lot of teams did, or a lot of players did. I kind of waited like a little bit because like I think I needed a break as well.
In September of 2020, Ye and former Complexity teammate Android were approached by Anbox. The New York-based esports org was assembling their competitive Valorant roster. After 2 years of living like a nomad, bouncing between teams, 2 years of hardship, Ye finally had another shot at the big leagues, and he was going to make the most of it.
Not sure if they spotted, I believe Ye has now located it, but he could potentially find these extra frags, but he's definitely thinking they're close by. He finds another. He used the cloud burst, gonna block up the vision, gonna be able to dash out. Another chance for the duel, and he's able to pull it through again. Fighting tooth and nail through all the carnage, and Brax finally takes him down.
With the start of 2021 came the first season of the Valorant Champions Tour, the true beginning of professional Valorant. Throughout the early days of the VCT, Anbox struggled in the middle of the pack, and yet Ye stood out, thanks to his insane precision,
No, dude!
and his next-level Jett play.
Holding there.
Three. One enemy remaining.
Do we know our last is? Wait, can I kill him? Please? Pretty please?
Soon, Ye became more than just another talented pro. He was squarely ahead of the curve.
No one knows about this one, dude. No one knows about that one. No one knows about that one. That's property of me. I made that one.
And not just with his agent of choice, either.
Well, it wasn't even my marshal. It was originally like my sheriff. My sheriff and my rifle, I was just one bolting like everybody. You know, like, and I was like creating my own like meta where it's just like, you know, I'm like pistol rounds, like I was just buying sheriff. And I was just one tapping everybody, and then other people started buying it too. It was just funny to me.
Ye became known, among other top players, for his consistent ability to clutch rounds, to live while all others died. And through this, he earned the nickname El Diablo.
And it was just got to the point in which like there was like certain people on like TSM and stuff like that. Every time I played them, I was having just like monster performances, right? So it's just like they coined the phrase like El Diablo because like it's like everyone else is like dead, but like I'm still like winning like ridiculous clutches. My God.
Diablo!
I gotta reload.
One mid-side.
Oh, mid-side? Okay.
Diablo! Diablo!
Wait, where's last guy? Where is he? Where is he?
I don't know, Lurky.
Oh, he's always wait.
But while Ye was experiencing a new level of personal success, the same could not be said for his team. After failing to make either Stage 1 or Stage 2 Masters, Ye felt he'd hit a ceiling with Andbox.
I wanted to compete on the world stage. You know, that was my dream. I wanted to push myself further, you know, and I wanted to continuously get better. Because like that's ultimately like the goal for me is like, I don't really care so much about results. It's all about getting better, like as a player.
Ye made the move to Team Envy in August of 2021, just a week before NA Stage 3 Challengers playoffs. No less than qualification to the biggest Valorant event to date was at stake, and he'd had little to no practice with his new team. But El Diablo could not be stopped.
Okay, the Cosmic Divide is actually what's going to play contact. You see the smoke come out and the gravity well. BCJ was a sitting duck. He gets cleaned up by Ye. And Ye gets a second one as well. 34 health. Dancing around the corner, he gets 3. El Diablo, baby, you gotta fear him. Looking for 4. This is why you fear this man. This is why he's so highly touted, because he makes plays like that happen.
Just dragging them down to the depths. One more. The classic almost happens. Crashy comes up with a pie to the face of death.
Together, Envy went from a gatekeeper team to filling the last remaining master slot for NA, alongside 100 Thieves and Sentinels. And the ticket punching moment, appropriately, came from Ye.
As the spike begins to go down, they're both playing back off in defender spawn. This seems like it's going to require a Herculean effort just to equalize things. Ye gets 1, Ye gets a second. What more fitting of a way to do it? Willkommen in Berlin, baby. Envy's representing North America at Masters.
Once again, Ye was competing on the biggest stage in his chosen game. This time, however, there would be no early playoff elimination.
The potential at upset, alive. For Vivo keyed, but in a 1v3, doesn't have a ton to work with. He's only got light armor. Left. And the thing is, they've got him boxed in. There's nowhere they can go. He can't do anything without them knowing Ye's able to secure it. As we talked about previously, they were beaten, they were battered, but they walk away with the win.
In the group stages of Berlin, Envy effortlessly toppled their group without dropping a single map. But their first elimination match would pit them against Sentinels, perhaps the #1 team in the world, the reigning Masters champions, and among the favorites to win the whole tournament. But in the end, defying the odds, Envy walked away victorious.
Good trade for Dapper before that spiraled out of control, but the problem is the rest of Envy are here as well. Ye at the back of platform, just gonna be sat there, pushes forward on it, FNS. Beautiful. He's got his back. Tense on 20 HP. He's just been overrun by Ye. El Diablo is here in person, in the flesh and blood. Ye, Tens, they're all looking for it. No opportunities being found. It's traded out again. Ye's there. It's all on Shazam, and it's over. It's done with. They say when you come for the king, you best not miss. And Envy, they didn't.
Our reigning champion Sentinels will fall here after Envy not even stepping up to the plate, surpassing all expectations, and they were an outside runner, you could say it.
And once they actually played, it was very obvious that no, Sentinels just weren't off against G2 and FRQ. They just weren't as good as Envy, who've always been, since Ye joined, and even before then, they've always been hyped up as scrim gods. This is the team that just rampages through everyone in scrim, especially Ye, who can just, mechanically match up with anyone in the world.
The bar had been set, and all other teams in Berlin had been put on notice. In the semifinals, Envy faced off against the other top NA team in 100 Thieves, but after dethroning Tens and Sentinels, they weren't about to let the likes of Asuna and Co. stop them now.
Asuna's gotten it to half. Asuna might be sticking the whole thing. My goodness, he's gonna stick it and there's nothing to stop him. 100 Thieves, yeah, Ye gets the 3K, but Asuna steals the defuse away. 100 Thieves are on the board first. Hiko yet again in a clutch situation. Everything in front of him, but Ye stops it. Ye's in a clutch spot here. He does have 1 bullet left with the option. Has that blade storm online. If he's able to get that, all right, he's good for 1. It's gonna be on to steal. He has to creep his way forward. A Red Bull clutch from Ye. The gravity well is there. He understands where Marv is, but is he gonna have hold time? You're gonna have to hold it, and no, it's not gonna happen. They say art is eternal. Envy just put their own Mona Lisa together on the way to the grand finals.
And locking in a spot at Champions, Envy.
With that victory, they had taken the NA crown. The only thing left was to claim their place at the top of the world. Unfortunately for them, this is where their run came to an end.
4 on the site for Envy, and Crash is just watching as one dash on past, but it's Defo! How's he found that? Infinite has fallen, Ye still stands, that's his Victor, but only for so long! Gambit have just butchered Envy, and Marv called upon in the final moments here of this first round of OT. Not gonna happen, Shados!
Yeah, I can't see Redgar even getting close to this. You can see already FNS posted up in hookup. That's the first one to find if he needs to.
Still a tricky angle to clear. Not gonna happen. FNS, you're a hero. You just got Envy to 12-12. Work way in through the vents. Chronicle, the man who just destroyed them in the prior round, is just around this corner for the timing. Oh my god, no! Yeah, he's made a meal of it! It's all going to pieces! No way! Nicole! In the final moments, has just shone so brightly. They are blinded by the lights! Gambit are the Valorant Masters champions!
In their final hour, Envy fell to a CIS team that looked downright unstoppable. But while Gambit may have taken home the trophy, Ye earned something just as sweet. Redemption.
I wanted to compete on the world stage. You know, that was my dream. I wanted to push myself further.